We are witnessing something special with the Dallas Stars on a massive win streak. It just keeps getting better as not only have the goalies been outstanding, they're ready to get some reinforcements in the name of Tyler Seguin, even Mikko Heiskanen, who look to return very soon. What is already an incredible win streak for this team, who has added Mikko Rantanen, is just getting better, and the NHL should be scared. We got to break all of that down coming up on this episode of Hat Trick HQ. But before we get into the video, a quick reminder to hit the subscribe button. A ton of you guys, 70+% are still not subscribed. Hit the free subscribe button down below. We're covering all your favorite teams, including the Dallas Stars, Mark. Just taking a look right now at the standings. The Stars are doing some incredible things. They're now just a few points back of the Winnipeg Jets for the top seed in the Western Conference. Now, we knew from the start of this season, from the get-go, that this Dallas Stars team had incredible depth and incredible top-end talent as well. And there were some slow starts here. Jason Robertson, and we know Tyler Seguin got hurt after 19 games. We'll talk about him in just a bit. But what has your overall impression been with the Dallas Stars? Not only like just in recent weeks since acquiring Rantanen, which has been amazing, but this season as a whole, because this team is set up to be probably the best, if not one of the best teams in the league for many years to come.
I mean, looking at the standings, it says it all. This is a team that has key players out with injuries, Seguin and Heiskanen. Like you said, we will touch on this, but just being a few points behind the Winnipeg Jets that has stayed relatively healthy all season long. This Dallas Stars team, even before Mikko Rantanen, looked like legit contenders. And I mean, the biggest thing is, listen, you're missing key players within the lineup, but this is a deep team. And when you're looking at every single position, maybe the right D could be upgraded a bit. But other than that, everyone has been gelling. There's 4 lines that you can play, top 3 lines you can play in any situations. I don't know if it's crazy to say, Josh, but I would not be shocked if the Dallas Stars made the Stanley Cup Finals this season.
Oh, I mean, geez, I think you got to put them right up there with Cup favorites, especially with the reinforcements they'll be getting soon. I mean, not only has this team been performing at such a high level with the guys they got. I mean, honestly, even look at the defense right now. They're running Ilya Lyubushkin as the #1 top pairing right D with Thomas Harley. But Harley and Lindell, I mean, we might dive into their plus minus a little bit later. Holy crap, some amazing stuff from them. Their defense has been holding it together. Of course, that trade with the Sharks and the trade with the Carolina Hurricanes at the deadline. But like, again, we'll dive into some more of that a bit later. We got to talk about the reinforcements because it's just, they're coming in waves right now. And we'll start with Mikko Heiskanen. Pierre LeBrun Insider Trading went to say that Heiskanen had knee surgery on February 4th. And at the time, said it'd be 3 to 4 months, but 2 months on Friday. And the updated timelines anywhere from coming back from game 1 of the playoffs or the end of the first round. And again, anything can happen in the playoffs. But Mikko Heiskanen, getting him back again, bolstering that right side on defense, which is something that the Stars definitely need. Look, Harley and Lindell are holding it down on the left side for their partners in Lyubushkin and Ceci, who are not bad players, but again, especially defensively, it's a lot of Harley and Lindell. But getting a guy like Heiskanen back, Mark, I know we'll talk about Seguin in a minute too, but like, again, it just feels like this team that's already so deep, a team that's already on a massive winning streak, that's arguably about to take over the #1 seed in the West, just to get back one of the best defensemen in the NHL is just completely insane.
And the biggest thing is, listen, the competition is not going to be easy in the playoffs. So right now, they're set to play the Colorado Avalanche in the first round. Going to be hard competition, so getting Heiskanen back for this would be big. But listen, getting your top defenseman back, your top right-handed defenseman, to make it a little easier on the right side, as we said, Lyubushkin and Ceci. Great players, but maybe not the guys you want staying on your top and second pairings. Getting Heiskanen back changes everything for this. And Josh, listen, I think if Heiskanen can come back in the first round and stay fully healthy for this entire playoff run, it's going to be crazy to see what they have to do with the Lions to make all these players fit.
That's one of the big questions now, too, again, with Tyler Seguin coming back. I mean, as you saw in that intro clip, he's skating with the team again, right? So in a positive update for them, this is from TSN. Injured center Tyler Seguin skated with the team Wednesday, non-contact. Of course, he had hip surgery in December, and it was 4 to 6 months at that time. So again, we're like approaching that 4-month timeline. So there's no confirmation that they'll be coming back, almost certainly not for the regular season. But we can't forget that in 19 games this year, Tyler Seguin had 20 points. Now, whether he'd actually come back at center, I don't know. You'd probably have to mess around with a lines, but like you said, I assume Dumba's the guy that probably comes out on right D when Heiskanen comes back. You never know. It might just be one of those things that depends on the matchup, which is great for a playoff series, especially as people get hurt. You'll have that extra kind of reliability behind him, that backup plan, for lack of a better term, right? But in terms of the forwards, I mean, look right now, Wyatt Johnston, Jamie Benn, Evgeny Dadonov are your third line, which is nuts. Where does Seguin come in? I mean, my first thought is probably you put him with Duchene, and so that you have a lefty and a righty to take faceoff, similar to what they're doing with Wyatt Johnston and Jamie Benn. But look, Seguin's shown that he's been able to have great games with a bunch of players throughout the lineup, Mark. Like, you got to think, what if Oscar Back or Colin Blackwell's probably coming out of the lineup here? But again, it's tough. Like, or do you just run like the deepest center core in the league with like Hintz, Duchene, Johnson, and Seguin? The fact that we're even having this conversation for a team come these playoffs, like, you might just get Seguin and Heiskanen both back. It creates lineup questions, but it's incredibly dangerous.
And I mean, the biggest thing is it's a good thing to have with this team. If you're looking at a team, you said, okay, this guy easily comes out for Seguin, then you know it's a bit of a wink link. But looking at the team, any of these players, and it shows with how good the Stars have been recently, this is a deep team. You can really roll out 4 lines, especially once Tyler Seguin returns, over a point per game this season, age 33. It's going to be really interesting to see what they end up doing with the lines, but I do agree. I think you put him on the top or second line, left wing. If not, you could put him on the fourth and have probably the deepest team in the entire National Hockey League with star talent on every single line.
Yeah, that's the thing. We just look at the whole team stats right here. Everyone's pulling their weight. I mean, just having a quick look at this. Of course, Mikko Rantanen. I mean, look, he still has his haters. Of course, since leaving Colorado, he hasn't been that like 1.2 point per game kind of guy, but he's still got 11 points in 12 games with the Dallas Stars right now. Jason Robertson. I mean, obviously he's picked up the pace a ton after having a bit of a questionable start to the season. I mean, he's pushing that 40 goal mark. Probably won't get there, but still, he's getting close. Duchene's having an incredible year on an incredible contract. Wyatt Johnston just signed a great extension. There's so many good players, but I also want to point out the defense. And again, like, Wyatt Johnston's been amazing, but the defense and the goaltending has been a big thing for me. And the defense, especially from Esa Lindell and Thomas Harley, just look at those plus minuses. I know plus minus, like, in a vacuum is not a great stat to just use to compare player to player. But when you use it in the context of a whole team here, you see the plus 34 and plus 36 from those two guys when no one else is even plus 20 in this top 12 in scoring on the team, not to mention the partners they got. Now, Labushkin is more physical, of course, but a guy like Cody Ceci very much has a reputation of not being that great at kind of anything. But, regardless, these two guys are really holding it down. So, and it's not just them, it's the goalies too, Mark. I know we know DeSmith and Oettinger have had some incredible games. What are your thoughts on their defense and goaltending right now? Because that's one of the things, like, look, we know their offense is good, but their defense and goaltending has arguably been better for stretches.
I mean, Harley's coming out party was joining the Four Nations, looking outstanding, stepping in. But the biggest thing is, listen, this defense on paper might not look like the best, but they've been getting it done. Listen, like you said, Harley's been outstanding. Lindell's been excelling in his role as well. Getting Heiskanen is going to make this team even better, but the goaltending needs to be talked about. Listen, last 5 games for Jake Oettinger, I'm not going to read through it all, but minus the game versus the Anaheim Ducks where they still won it, you can see elite numbers, 917, a shutout, 932, 972, and it doesn't stop with just him. As you look at Casey DeSmith as the best backup in the entire National Hockey League, 957, 947, 958, 972. Josh, every position on this team is excelling what a lot of people expected. It's crazy to look at, but is this by far the best goalie tandem in the National Hockey League right now?
I mean, at this moment, it's hard to deny it. The numbers speak for themselves. Now, if I was a Stars fan, I would probably say, like, let's stop giving up 35, 40 plus shots every single night. 48 shots against the Flames is kind of crazy. But again, like, a lot of these chances, like, there's not too many high danger chances, and there's a reason the team is winning as much as they are, because the Stars can score with the best of them. I mean, look, to be fair, you do win 5-1 in a game that you give up 36 shots. The defense is doing a decent job in general of forcing shots to the outside, but I mean, I don't want to sell the goalies short. Jake Oettinger, on any given night, you could argue he's the best goalie in the league. You probably won't get a lot of people saying he's better than Hellebuyck, because he probably isn't in general, but what I'm saying is, going toe-to-toe, even with the best guys, it's hard to pick against Oettinger, and you know that any given night, he can look like the best guy in the league. And Casey DeSmith, even though he's been a backup for a few years now, he's been consistently putting up great numbers. So all this to say, Mark, this team looks like an incredible threat for the playoffs. And honestly, like, if I were to call it right now, Stars or Jets, I honestly would be very comfortable putting my money on the Stars, making it very far, not just for this year, but again, looking at this young core and the people they got that are under 30, even under 25, it's very scary for years to come.
And that's the biggest thing. Listen, that's not just this year of a window. They have a young core locked up, Wyatt Johnston locked up, Rantanen signed to an extension. this team's going to be threat for years to come. And listen, I take them over the Jets, and that's not just because Connor Hellebuyck and the Jets are known for choking a bit in the playoffs, but this team does seem deeper on paper, looking at it in every aspect. I got my money on the Stars making at least the conference finals and probably Stanley Cup finals.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be exciting to watch this team continue to roll. But hey, the Blues are sneaking up behind them, too. I know they're not going to catch them, but a 10-game win streak as well. A little reminiscent of a number of years ago. It's going to be intense heading into this playoff picture, but let us know your thoughts on all these things that we talked about down below. The Stars look dangerous, and we'd love to hear your thoughts on it. But that'll do it for this episode of Hat Trick HQ. If you enjoyed, hit the free subscribe button. If you want to stay up to date on all the latest NHL news from now until the playoffs and beyond, even into the offseason, I know you're going to want to hear all about the trade rumors of your favorite teams. I'm Josh Gosse, my co-host, Mark Pye. We'll catch you in the next one.